What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. Coming to the end of the year, if you follow Dan Miller's 48 Days podcast, then you should have already had your goals set and laid out for the next year, 48 days before the end of the year. And on the topic of starting something new with the mark of a new year, I wanted to begin some of the conversations we'll be having about the next year by setting the tone of seriousness that should possess every goal you jot down. So while we are in the spirit of optimism and looking forward to a new beginning in a new year with hopefully actually a new you this year, I felt it was important to remind ourselves the most important part of beginning something, and that's finishing it. And I'm not trying to tip your optimism over to being totally cautious. You should set audacious goals that will be difficult to achieve 100% of at least. And as someone who admittedly struggles with beginning new things, starting new things, it is because of this seriousness, it's because of the standard, the sometimes unrealistic standard that I hold for myself and what it means to commit to starting something. Because to me, that means keeping it going for as long as humanly possible. Do you know how many times I'm not even sure of what topic to cover on this podcast, despite, the 100 ideas that I forget to jot down during the week? When it comes time to record, I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about so many times. But just the commitment to put something out results in some form of creativity being poured out that I end up being proud of, or at least proud of 20% of what I put out. And either way, the point is I told myself I will put out an episode twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. And for the past 75 weeks, that has happened. Now, again, I could jinx myself and skip an episode this week. But the point is, it is important to me, to a commitment I made to myself, that I will put something out twice a week. And if only 20% of it lands, then so be it. But with enough volume, that 20% will be all I need to help spread my message. The reality is everyone loves beginning new things. There's something so exciting and hopeful about starting a new project or a new business or a new venture or a new partnership, a new relationship. The new energy makes us feel alive. Matter of fact, that energy is so intoxicating that the high feeling of that energy itself is the greatest impediment to doing things consistently and bringing what you start to a finish. Because as soon as that new energy fades, most of us chase the high again by jumping to a new thing and then another thing and never really sticking to anything or becoming anything from the process of commitment. My commitment has shown me parts of myself that I didn't know existed. The parts of me that mistakenly thought I needed inspiration before being creative and was proved otherwise. The parts of me that thought I needed motivation to show up to the gym, that a decade of consistency has proved otherwise. The parts of me that thought I needed strength before I could be strong, all shown otherwise. Because the decision to show up was always greater than any other variable, no matter how big. And then creativity followed commitment. Strength followed the will. Motivation followed the desire. I didn't know any of these things that I had in me. I did not know I had any of these things in me until I witnessed them come to the surface when there was no other option given. You have to give yourself no other options. Again, I'm not saying don't taste things or give yourself zero permission or flexibility to pivot or quit things that don't suit you. But in giving you the credit of being a self-aware adult who is setting personal goals, remember that the utmost respect you can pay to anything you begin is to give it the honor of becoming a part of your life. It creating space within it and not abandoning the watering and caring of that planted seed of something new. That means what you begin, you respect enough to see it through. You respect it enough to nurture it, to keep it alive, to see what becomes, and blooms of it. You respect it enough to be consistent, or that lack of respect you give it erodes the respect you have for yourself. And this is what happens when you set your sights on something, because it begs to be held by you then. And your vision weeps when you don't see it through. The world is full of people starting new things. Full of people that start new things because of that excitement. But it has a deficit of people who complete things, who stick with things, who remain consistent. And the few that do rise to the top and earn their keep. So set your goals, but respect the ink with which you jot them. Feel the weight of its tangibility the moment it's scribed, and finish what you start. You realize, you manifest what you desire once you realize the seriousness of its undertaking. And only then do you bring it to life and see it with real eyes. You realize what you realize, and only then you can see it with real eyes. I love you, family. Stay true. See you in the next show.